not too far gone. I can make it safe.
Ignition sequence start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running.
Why did I look for sound effects when you could have done that?
That's what you got. Should we start it again so you can do your fire sound?
Did you hear my...
Turn a little ducky at the end with a...
I think we just lost half the viewers or listeners right there.
That's fine. That's okay. They can.
Can you do a Donald Duck?
Not really.
I can't.
I could do it if I move my face.
Oh.
One of those. Yeah,
was good.
I can do that. That's good for radio. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great.
Yeah, you feeling the magic today?
I'm feeling good. I actually feel really good today. I have been busy.
Tell the people what you were telling me.
What was of the video I was just working on?
All sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
You're on fire.
Real estate videos, which was a lot of fun. God, I'm trying to finish up a Retrofix ad that we did.
That's a good
I
one.
did. Trying to finish that one up. I started editing a little music video.
Yeah, you did.
Just a little music video.
We'll put that teaser out soon.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe on the end of this this video right
Maybe
here,
maybe this is the one.
if you guys are watching on
Better view.
the tubes.
Watch them. You can do whatever you want. You can listen to this or watch it however you want it to
Yep.
go.
Yeah.
So you got that. You got tell them about the place. I mean, they haven't heard.
Oh yeah, we got a place.
Yeah.
I guess we haven't talked
Locked
about
and loaded. You did it.
it. We got a place in Vegas,
How many square feet?
3,200.
I'm dividing that by 5 people, so that's not bad.
It's not bad.
And a yard.
A really nice yard. Probably, I'm gonna say the second nicest yard, sort of. So the first really nice yard was actually crap because it wasn't well taken care of. It had a pool though, and like a built-in grill, like into like this like bar or whatever.
That's what you could have had.
Could have had, but the property was not well taken care of. It was kind of gross.
Problematic.
But it could have been like 10 years ago, maybe a little bit longer.
Or if you spent like a whole week actually cleaning it.
Yeah.
Nice. But
Yeah, it could have been nice. It should have been nicer for it being on the quote unquote market for rentals. But anyways, one that we got is much, much nicer.
Good.
So we're really excited.
Good. And now have we divvied up space? Has it already happened?
Yeah. I think everybody has their rooms figured out.
Okay.
What we're doing.
And then there's a workspace, I'm
There's
thinking.
workspace. We haven't figured that part out. We don't know where the new Chimera office is going to be in this one. But we're already furniture shopping. So
Is there a group text that happens where we...
there's a group text. It's kind of died down because our roommates have to move. They'll be there a week from today, actually. They'll move in a week from today. They have to pick up our keys next Tuesday.
So they're going to get their germs all over it before you have a chance. That's a lot of cooties.
I'm going to have to get used to it. It's fine.
I like these guys. They're good cooties.
12-month lease. It's going to happen.
Oh, what's going to happen?
I'm so excited.
Should we do a reality show on this one?
Maybe.
Just keep the camera. I mean, you got the equipment.
So we went to this restaurant in Las Vegas last week. And it was a really cool restaurant. It was for my birthday. They took me to a surprise restaurant, and I think it's called Blacked Out. And you walk in, you have to surrender your phone, anything that lights up. And then your server comes out with night vision goggles on. He's like, okay, I'm going to take you in to this completely dark room. You can't see anything, nothing.
No.
And you don't even know what you're going to eat. The menu is a surprise too. So they took us there, and like the first 10, 15 minutes is kind of creepy because you just can't see anything.
Right.
Primal fears really start to.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah.
Keep going. Keep
It was
going.
great. It was fantastic. The food was fantastic. It was great. Once like I had like the first meal, like the first course, I'm like, oh, the food's good. Like I was a lot calmer.
Right.
But the funny thing that happened was, so my roommate Jimmy, he and I have been friends since I was like 4 years old, like literally since I was 4. So we have a long relationship, and we like to joke around and all that stuff. And
In the dark.
his wife called us out on all of the jokes we make and whatnot while we're having dinner in the dark, like our first family meeting in the dark. And
She's like, I've had enough of this crap.
yeah, and it's just like she's like, I feel more empowered in the dark. So we now have a place to go for family meetings now, I guess, if things get a little out of hand.
Avoid that place at all costs. In the dark, eating food, and they never turn the lights on. How do you get out?
So you have to do like this whole, you put your hand on the server's shoulder, and then you put your hand on, the person behind you puts their hand on your back.
Look
or
at it
whatever.
all, not
You
signing up.
walk out, and
Jeez, how? No.
I found out that salad is really, really hard to eat when you
Yeah.
can't see it.
Yeah.
It was all over.
How
the
were the
table.
shirts after the?
I was actually surprised that my pants and my shirt weren't more. There was some stuff on it, but it wasn't. What the salad fell on the floor, and the dressing was on the floor, and then like underneath my seat or underneath part of my table was really slick and slippery because of all the salad
Because
dressing.
you were having issues.
I was having
They
a lot of issues.
they probably are prepared for that.
Oh, I'm sure they're just laughing at me because
Right.
they can see in the dark, and
Right.
they're just like, "Good God, that guy cannot eat at all."
How come this guy in the dark can't do the thing the first time? You've done it 1,000 times. That
Yeah.
just, I don't know.
Doesn't sound like fun.
That sounds like my nightmare.
I was really nervous, and I was like, "Oh, this might be like the worst birthday ever."
Well, you can't tell them the surprise, right? You're sworn to secrecy. But what the menu's made up of, and
Oh, I mean, I guess it ruins the fun.
yeah, no, it's not
Yeah.
ruin it for people.
I highly recommend this place. I
Those
was
of you that
really
are going to
nervous
go
at first.
somewhere to be in the dark
Mm-hmm.
and not enjoy anything because you're terrified like me, just avoid that place.
It was a lot of fun. If you really want to if the normal food going adventure has become boring to you, go to this place. But anyways,
Who's going out anymore is the real question. I mean, it's just now starting. So
starting back up.
first place I'm not going to go is in the dark.
That's a good point.
That's like a mafia move. That's where you would go to, for your hits. Hey, boss, let's get you in the
so you can't
get
see
you in the
it
dark. Yeah,
coming.
just shift. And you don't even know till the meal's over, and you still wouldn't know because they escort you out.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, where'd that guy go? It's over.
I don't know. Now it kind of sounds like a cool scene to write, though.
How would you show anything?
It'd be from the perspective of the server, like Silence of the Lambs,
The
with
night vision?
the night vision goggles. That
Get
was
it.
creepy.
Well, no, the whole thing is creepy.
So
The whole thing sounds terrifying to
That's
me.
great.
I'm not.
I'll admit, the first 10 minutes, I was like, I don't know about this. This feels weird. But the food was fantastic, and
Good.
the company was amazing.
See, now you got to remember too. I don't like it. Like, there's a restaurant in town that likes to flip food in your mouth.
Yeah.
I don't need a show.
You don't want interactive.
I don't need a show.
You're there for the food.
Unless I'm going for a show. Like if I went to Vegas, maybe I'd go to the one where they beat the crap out of each other with swords and that maybe
Medieval stuff, yeah.
like I'm committed to a show. I don't want to be part of the show then. And this is coming from somebody that's on stage all the time.
Well, I mean, you got to separate it, right? You got your art's over here, your food and sustenance is over here.
Uh-huh.
I get it. I get it. You got to compartmentalize your.
Maybe I don't know, and maybe it's just showing my limitations of enjoyment for life. It's
you gotta get out of the
possible,
box, man.
or just get younger. I mean, maybe when I was your age. No, actually, no. I was already set in my ways. Maybe when I was like 18, 19, that would have been
Fun.
good times. But I think I've always been uptight about the dark and people being around me in the dark.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we also did. And we worked on a video this weekend.
We did work on it.
It actually happened.
It happened. And people showed up.
People did, and it was touch and go.
Yeah.
But we had what we needed. We knew we were going to have what we needed.
It was great.
So Ryan had more of a playground than he thought he was going to have. I think that's what happened, right?
That was difficult.
Not really.
I mean,
With a time constraint, it became difficult.
Yeah.
because there's too much to play with, too many great light. There's a lot of great light in that
A lot
place.
of great light, a lot of great
Toys.
objects to manipulate. And my whole idea was like, I don't want to overthink it. You know, in the pre-production of the whole thing, I didn't want to overthink, oh, I'm going to manipulate this or that, or we're going to get this shot. I wanted the venue, the location to speak to me when we got there and just come up with like on
So
the
here, let's do you walking in. Now here's you being quiet. And now I'm going to be the venue. You ready?
Go for it.
Shoot over
Yeah, but like do that at 100 voices at the same
here.
time.
Oh, no. I know.
'Cause
I was there. And
it
I'm
was
like, I don't know
tough.
where he's going to start.
It was tough to be like, oh, let's do it here, let's do it here, let's do it here. Okay, Allie, move over here. Let's shoot this like that.
The
And-
light was incredible,
Mhm.
right?
Oh yeah.
Natural light. That shot, the
I
one
only had
shot.
to like do artificial light every now and then, just to like enhance certain things around the light.
Pop some stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah. No,
it was
cool.
a lot of fun to shoot.
2 out of the 3 people showed up.
Yay.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
That's like the Meatloaf song. One of them said, those today?
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay, I guess. Yeah.
The struggle is real, though.
It is real.
One of them was driving all the way from Missoula. She'd lost a tire in Helena and still made it to the shoot.
Mhm.
So
Major
heroic
props.
effort on some
Yeah,
people.
lots of respect for that.
You made heroic efforts because you're getting hot up there.
It was getting warm.
You're moving some stuff around pretty good.
Yeah, it was a one-man crew.
Yeah.
It was fun.
What's fun is there's all these things that I'm looking at, and I'm like, maybe I could lift that, maybe I could, but I think I'd break stuff. Like that's really my concern. Is this is a lot of equipment. It's $1,000 of material, and I'm like, I think it would take him longer to explain to me how to deal with this. So I tried to just like, do you need me to hold the ladder? Do you need me to, what do you need, buddy? Do you want some? Yeah, I felt fairly useless in that way,
No.
but I think it's going to be one of the best videos ever.
I'm really excited about it. I put it together, some clips the other day. I sent you one, obviously.
Yep.
And I was really, really happy with it and the aesthetic.
Yeah, that camera gets really great low light because it's dark up there too.
Mhm.
It's beautiful.
It was really fun.
Then that's your favorite setup, you think, at this point?
The camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell
I'm
the people what you're
still
shooting.
Trying to figure out the sweet spot on that camera.
You don't think you did?
Oh, so looking at the footage, I'm super critical of my stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I could have done this. Oh,
Sure.
I try to learn a camera before I shoot it, but sometimes there's a lot of stuff to learn, and the menus can be quite deep. So there were a few things on this one, like, oh, I could have done this, or I
Sure.
could have turned on this switch, or whatever.
Sure.
But overall, I really liked it. And to answer your question, I'm shooting on a Zcam M4, and it's pretty.
Well,
I
what's
like it.
interesting is you're ripping on your shots, but I'm behind you, looking in the monitor, and just what's coming through the monitor has gone nuts. And you're getting there quick. Your speed in the years that I've known you has really improved.
I appreciate that. Thank
Well, I mean, I'm back there watching.
you.
I try to do it not like in a, hey, what's going on? What are you doing? But
Mm.
I got eyes.
You got us.
I remember stuff.
Good observation.
It was never bad. It was never slow, but I just the speed of which, and you have the ability to be a one-man operation, which I don't know when we started all this that was
No.
quite the case. It seems like you've got a real grip on the technology. You figured out the stuff you want, and you've shot enough that it's really second nature to you.
It feels more comfortable than it did when we were shooting TFD.
Well, you weren't
Five
even
years
running the camera.
No, back then. Back then, I don't even think I could handle the camera.
So in the span of a few years, you've gone from I'm going to be the director, they're going to be, and yes, that would be fun
Mhm.
to have somebody that really knows the cameras even better.
Oh yeah, you're talking about how it's like I never want to touch a camera,
Right.
And I want to hire people to do that,
Right.
To now being able to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you're
that
Robert
was,
Rodriguez in it instead of
I'll take that. I like
yeah.
that.
No, that's a good one.
No, I out of necessity, I learned.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I sucked it up and learned it because it was difficult, but I really, really appreciate knowing all that stuff. And even if I do have, like we talked about this, I think last week or a couple weeks ago, where even if when the day comes when I can afford a proper DP,
Sure.
my language skills with that person will be far better than they were if I was just like, okay, I want this shot.
I want this
I
lens. I
don't know
want
how to make it to make it happen. You just do your magic. But now I can speak. Okay, we should probably maybe do like an 85 on this, and then whatever kind of light or whatever.
Where was the transition from? What was it that made you do that? Get to the point where you could Robert Rodriguez it? Was it by necessity? Because the thing that happens with us where we have people on board and then they're not there and then you're just picking it up because you have to? Or did you in your head say, I just want to be the guy that knows how to do all of it?
Honestly, it was you a couple years ago saying, you and Dan,
Dan and I just beating up Ryan.
just cornered me. No, I was being a little baby about something, and you're just like, you and Dan were both like, you just need to go out and shoot. You just need to go out and play. Like, stop getting in your head or doing all this stuff. Just go out and play. And I was like, okay, you're right. So I don't think I took out the camera. I took out the drone. And I went out and flew around and learned new settings on the drone or whatever. And then that project went so well that it actually kind of catapulted me into more things commercial-wise.
Yeah.
And so I had to start shooting more. And I got just repetitions. I put in the reps on shooting things.
all of
I was
it,
like,
yeah.
oh, okay. Tutorial, like, oh, I really screwed up the lighting or the ISO on this. Like, how do I figure this out? And then just YouTubing it.
So it was YouTube and Linda, I'm thinking, too.
YouTube and Linda.
Lynda.com is pretty great.
Rest in peace, Linda. It's
gone.
dead. It's dead. It's switched into something else now.
No!
I know. I need to tell you that.
When did that happen?
Like, the beginning of May.
Do you know why that's really sad for me?
Hmm.
Because I was like, you know what I'm going to do this summer? This is the summer I just learned stuff on Linda.
Well, guess what? I have the new version. So it's called LinkedIn Learning. All the things are still over there.
I know. It's very generous, but still, it's sad. It's sad when things change.
I know.
Because now I got to learn the change. I'm not just learning the thing. I got to learn the thing that gets to the thing.
Yeah. It's relatively, it's instead of being yellow, it's blue.
Fair.
That's the only thing.
Really?
Yeah. And it's called LinkedIn Learning instead of lynda.com. That's the only thing that's different.
What do we have against Linda?
I don't know.
What did Linda do wrong?
I don't know. They acquired it like 5 years ago, and then now they're like, let's just finally make this switch.
Do you want me to tell you? I mean, I got a surprise for you today.
What's that?
I actually have a question for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Crazy, right?
That is crazy.
I'm going to play a song first.
Okay.
I don't even know what song I'm going to play. So here, you keep talking for a second.
Okay.
Let me figure it out.
Now I'm nervous because I don't know what to talk about.
Well, no, you'll be okay. I'm just going to play. I'm going to play the theme song all the way through again. You ready?
Yeah. Our
Ours.
theme song
Yeah, but not without the countdown.
without my sound effects.
Well, I like the sound effects.
I know.
Maybe it'll be on the single.
Okay.
Colonel stations had love on the line, had a brand new suit and a sweet looking tie.
See, now we just ruined that. We should have been talking about that where we talk about off air, on the air. That's too big a subject, though.
Maybe
Next time.
next time.
Because that's a good one.
What's the question you got though?
Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's kind of a big question anyway.
Green. Green is my favorite color.
Buddy the Elf, what's your favorite? So what was the first thing, the first piece of art that you experienced that turned the computer on as far as either that's what I want to do or that's there's something there that, and it could be the young version of that, or it could be as you decided you were a movie lover and this and that, but then you saw something that said, that's something I can do for the rest of my life.
I don't know. I think my first real movie that I can remember that isn't a kid's movie
Right.
is Jurassic Park.
How old were you when that came out?
I think that movie came out in 93,
Okay.
and I think I watched it when I was 4 or 5.
That's the age.
And
Yeah.
I remember the conversation because I remember seeing, they have like the cardboard boxes,
Mhm.
with the display.
Mhm.
And I remember walking into Kmart and it was right there in the front. And I was like begging my parents that I needed to see this movie. Because what other 5-year-old doesn't love dinosaurs?
And that movie was scary too, by the way.
Well, and that was the thing. Like my mom, I remember vividly, we bought or rented the movie. I don't remember. And before they put the VHS in, they were like, okay, this isn't real. None of this is real. All the blood
Looks
is fake.
real. Looks real.
Real. And we could turn it off at any time.
Right.
And I was like, okay, let's go. Didn't turn it off. Loved it. It wasn't until the next day I was at school and I was in the bathroom and I was afraid that a velociraptor was going to come to the bathroom.
Of course you were.
That was the only time I got scared of that movie. I didn't get scared watching it. I got scared afterwards.
Right.
That's the first moment that I remember it. Superman was also really inspiring.
When did you see Superman in development?
It had to be around that same time too.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's showing it to you? Who's the?
My mom and my dad.
I was gonna say who's the gateway drug?
I think it was my dad.
Your dad. Okay.
I could tell you exactly where Superman was at Blockbuster because I'd rent it so often. That and a play version of Peter Pan.
Who was the actress? Was that the Sandy Duncan?
No, Mary somebody. This is in the 70s.
Okay.
Maybe early 80s. I think the one you're talking about is one that actually my girlfriend Katie loves, and we fight over which one's better. It's the same exact play, but there's two different versions.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think it was Jurassic Park. Would have been the first time you say the computer turned on.
Yeah.
And then running around as a kid in the neighborhood, I always had John Williams scores. The soundtracks in my head, whether it was Jurassic Park, Superman, Star Wars, whatever it was. When we were running around with little toy swords or lightsabers or super soakers, that music was playing in my head.
Nice.
And then I was a huge action figure guy. I had all the action figures I was a big fan of. Power Rangers and Dragon Ball Z and a whole bunch of other stuff. And I play with this with my little brother. My little brother is 4 years, or my younger brother is 4 years younger than I am. And so it allowed me to play a little bit longer than what would be socially normal. And I was always coming up with ideas and putting on actual music or Star Wars music in the background. So I was making movies or scenes and stuff like that.
Of course. Yeah.
Before
it was like Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
What that initially was when you were
Yeah.
playing was you're writing the story.
Yeah, we didn't have a camera, but we were acting and we
Right.
were playing and
And okay, you're going to do this.
and it actually syncing up to music too. Okay, the music's gonna build here, and we're gonna do this.
So you were ahead of that by syncing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we just beat the
Just
crap
because
out of
it
each
was
other and
like
called it a story.
it felt so good, like
Yeah.
in my gut, like oh, like we hit it, we nailed it or whatever. And we like we didn't have very good sound systems back in the 90s, but when we were playing Star Wars outside, when we have the blasters or the lightsabers, whatever, we do the same thing. And I'd have like my mom build me capes and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I needed to have a cape and
Yeah.
all. So I was somewhere from watching those movies and all that, and then reenacting it and like creating my own stories. It eventually led to we need to film it or capture it somehow.
How old were you in that?
Middle school.
And it still wasn't like it was going to be my job quite yet. Or was it?
Actually, yeah.
Nice.
And it was an accident. Dan, who we talked about before, I don't know if I've talked about this story, but I came to school bitching about a horror movie that I'd seen the night. I got really into horror films,
Right.
in like late elementary, early middle
Me
school.
too. And the horror books. Did you?
Oh yeah.
Oh, the John Sauls and the Dean Koontzes and the.
Oh yeah, I was reading. I was actually more into a little bit in Stephen King because my dad loved Stephen King, Dean Koontz, and then Michael Crichton, which is more science than horror, but in Jurassic Park.
Sure.
Anyways, I was watching a horror movie and I came into school the next day and I was just like, ugh, this movie is terrible.
Terrible.
Just the worst. And I was like, I could write a better horror movie than this. And Dan got so annoyed with me, like, because I was just saying it all day.
Right.
All day I was talking about
You're
this.
harping.
Just how, I don't know why this movie offended me so much.
What movie was that?
Don't know.
Wouldn't that be great to
I
know?
know. I would be really great to
So
know.
anytime you're not feeling inspired, you put that bad boy in.
But I wrote, he told me, he's like, then why don't you just do it? Just do it. Like, And he was just trying to be a jerk and be like, shut up. You can't do it. Like, whatever, trying to get me to shut up. And I was like, okay, I will. And I started writing and I was like, I actually really want to do this because this is like really like in my wheelhouse of like, I love pretend. I love movies and I like the idea of creating movies, and nothing else sounded fun.
Right.
I was going into high school and it was like nothing else was like, what do you want to do? Like that whole thing was looming. Like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I just want to play pretend, I guess. I don't want to grow up. And I jumped at it. I only wavered once, or is that the right way to say that? In high school, I had my first girlfriend, and I'm like, oh, I should probably do something but more responsible. So I went.
Ruined it for you for a while.
Half my family's in the medical field. It's like, oh, I should maybe do something medical. That lasted maybe half a semester. We made our first zombie film at that time, and I was like, nope, I got to do this. So that's when it really turned on. Was like, okay,
Nice.
we made our first little music video thing.
Right. You ran into Wiles.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And he taught me a lot of stuff, and then I basically failed video productions.
Did you?
Yeah. I if not, I got a strong D.
Because you weren't doing what he was asking you to do, or
I didn't storyboard.
you refused?
I can't draw. I cannot draw. I wish
Right.
I could.
And he can.
He can. Yeah, he can.
Oh yeah.
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 And I was like, can I just like take pictures of this thing or whatever? I wanted to like recreate it. I just couldn't draw. And
Right.
back then I was like, if I can't do it, I'm not going to do it.
Mm.
Just kind of stubbornness. And so I almost failed. And then that summer I made Wake the Dead, and somehow it got back to him the next year around when it was finished. He's like, he stopped me in the hallway. He's like, where did this come from? And I'm like, I don't know. It was just easier when it's something that I want to do and I can make it my way or whatever. And that's
Sure.
when I found out that like traditional film school was difficult for me because
Sure.
it's just not the A to B thing.
Well, and it was a project-based education you gave yourself,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right?
And before my video production class, I was reading books on how
Yes.
to do it.
What was the first book? What was the one? Where were the ones?
There was one book, and I wish I could remember the title of it. I gave it to a friend, and I've never seen it again, and I want to read it so bad.
Hurtful.
But it was the first book, and not even just like how to make films, but it was like the industry and like how to be like a director and what that means. It was just kind of telling me like, this is what a producer does. This is what a
Oh, okay.
screenwriter does. This is what a director does. This is how much a director can make. And I'm like, Okay.
I'm in.
Done. Like, I'm in it for the stories, but if I can make that much money too, great. Obviously, haven't hit that yet, but you know, we're
It's happening.
hey, no,
Hey.
we're each year gets better and better, closer
Right?
and closer. So I'm not upset by any means.
Could we have less material to work with? We got quite a bit of it.
No, I am not complaining whatsoever. But
Right.
yeah,
I'd say we're locked and loaded.
mm-hmm.
You got some things you can show people,
I know.
right?
I have a music video coming out.
That's one of them. We got a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
We have half of a
And
ghost story.
yeah, we got to talk about actually off microphone. I
Okay.
have ideas about our ghost story.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I
Yeah.
do too, but I'm just like, once that engine goes, you know, once we slow it down, hard to pick it up.
It is hard.
You know, I'm going to answer the question quickly because
Yeah, I'm sorry I
Yeah,
took
man.
up so much time.
I wanted to hear the answer. And actually, you answered a lot of that stuff for me.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, because the same wheelhouse, same amount of time, the 4 and the 5. I was 4 when Star Wars came out. And the
So
day
lucky.
that I saw Star Wars was the first all-day memory I had.
Theater?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I can remember the whole day. Before that, it'd be like, I can kind of remember this, kind of remember that. Star Wars, computer on in many, many ways. And what's funny is you're talking about a scary show.
Yeah.
You know, all of these movies, we think of, George Lucas and Steven Spielberg, part of our childhood. Those were some terrifying movies. Darth Vader, when you're 4, is terrifying.
I wish I could remember how old I was when I watched it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But he made an impression. It was pretty exciting. So that, and then same kind of thing, just as I was moving through, being able to tell stories was a big deal. Being able to work with my friends and try to do things. You know, I didn't film. I was in theater during that time, and I was in music a lot. So I was in a lot of plays. We were putting out music, and we were
Yeah,
doing.
video would have been a hard thing to do back then.
It was.
You're not that much older than I am, but
I don't know. There's
at that
the
point,
non-linear stuff
it was very, very difficult to shoot anything at that point.
makes a big. Yeah, you're dealing with tape.
Mm-hmm.
And you're yeah, it was tricky, and it was just not something that I was even thinking about at that time. But yeah,
When did music hit for you?
it was always there,
Always.
I don't remember thinking, you know what I want to do is I just always
Mm-hmm.
I was always singing.
Did you grow up in a family
Yes.
that taught you music?
Yeah, and what was interesting is my mom was the music director at St. Anne's Cathedral when I was a kid, and that was a job that I had up until last June.
Mm-hmm. That's
For
great.
16 years.
Mhm.
So, you know, grew up in a church. You always sang. You always did your thing. And in popular music, I was allowed to, the music that I was listening to at the house, sang a lot. I don't remember not singing. I'm sure it kicked in at some point, but I just don't remember it not being something that I you know, there was no big turning point.
Yeah, that
It
wasn't
was
like
just
a
always
switch.
kind of there. Going into college, I definitely made the decision to learn guitar
Mm-hmm.
just so I could write songs.
Yeah.
That was really what that came down to. But yeah, we could talk more about that in the future. I mean, we're at 35 minutes, buddy.
Yay.
We did it.
We did it.
Thanks for listening in, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Episode 15. Didn't say Matt Johnson's name, but I'm going to see him on Thursday, finishing up an album. You're going to be editing your took us off.
Yeah. I won't be there. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I know you're pure editing until you're out of here, aren't you?
I have 4 more shoots.
Dang. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.
Thank you, guys.
Ignition sequence start. 5,